Hi, this is Hinojosa, and if you're curious about how to connect with your loved ones on the other side, this interview is for you. John Holland is one of the most respected, talented, and kind-hearted psychic mediums and spiritual teachers on the world stage today. His live demonstrations are brilliant and done with the highest integrity. John is also a best-selling author of 5 books, including Power of the Soul, and 3 oracle card decks, including the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards, one of my personal favorites. It is my great pleasure to have here with us today John Holland. John, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure, Ali. Thank you so much for having me.
Great. So let's start by talking a little bit about where is the spirit world?
Okay. Ali, many people, when you see them pray or talking to their loved ones or to God, they always do this. They always look up. Right. Jesus, God, Mary, Mom, Dad. When in fact, the spirit world is really, it's all around us, Ali. It really is all around us. Because it vibrates at a higher frequency, we can't see it. So simply, it really is all around us. I think the spirit world is closer to our world than most people think. It's not in some faraway place up in the clouds. It's simply all around us. But once again, because it vibrates at a higher frequency, we can't see it. So I think it intermingles with ours sometimes. So it's all around us.
And are there different levels in the spirit world? Or
absolutely.
And then when we go to the other side, do all humans go to the same level, or how does that work?
Okay, so for you and your audience, everything I'm teaching you or talking about is from my own experience or from my learning. Someone else may say something else, but I believe there are different levels to the spirit world. There really is. What you do here in this world, in this life, depends where you're going to go in that life. I really believe that there is different levels to the spirit world. So I look at it like different levels. You have the first level, you got the astral level, the etheric level, and then I think you have the God level, okay? Now, when you go to the other side, we're all going to the other side. I don't believe anybody is stuck here. You know what I mean? Because you'll hear
between worlds?
In between worlds. I think it may take some time, but you're still on the other side. You're not part of this world anymore. Right. Some people get upset or they might hear something saying, my loved one is in limbo. My loved one is, they can't go into the light. When you cross over, you're into the light. But I think there are different levels to the spirit world. And once again, what you do here in this life determines what you're going to do in the next life. So it may take you a little while to go from the next level to the next level. But trust me, in my opinion, from my work, all your loved ones are safe. They have passed. I don't believe that they're clinging on here. Other people may say something different too, Ali. Like a lot of people, and I don't want to get too off track from your questions, a lot of people say, well, what about hauntings? What about places that are haunted?
Right.
Where are they? Okay. Is a place really haunted? And I think hauntings are rare. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but I believe hauntings really are. If something traumatic, very emotional happened in an area, maybe where there was a lot of violence or tragedy, I think because of the emotion from us at that time, left a psychic snapshot, like a picture there. And the energy of that event is still there, not the people. Do you understand? The memory maybe. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there are different levels to a spirit world. And I think when we pass, I believe we are our own judge and jury. When we pass, we look back on our lives, all the good we did for people, and we experience all the good and all the bad that we did for people. And I believe if we believe that and truly know that, I think it would make us here as humans think twice before we do something.
I actually heard you say that before, and I really do take it into my own life. So yeah, and
absolutely.
Very interesting, John. And I'm thinking that some people may be asking, are loved ones on the other side different from the way they used to be when they were here?
Yes. Do you mean physically, emotionally?
In terms of personality, for example, or how are they different?
Okay. Beautiful. Okay. I believe that when we pass over, say you had a relative here, okay, that wasn't so nice to you, okay, or they weren't nice to so many people, or they were tough here. When they pass over, I believe we leave our personality, But, Ali, when they come to me, okay, when I link with them, they will come through to me like the way they were here. Say you had a grandfather, okay, just for an example, who wasn't such a great man, okay, meaning he was cranky, he was had a temper. He will come through to me like that, so you know who I'm talking about. They will show me their personality of what they were like here. Because if you had a grandfather that was a piece of work or was a cranky man, and I said to you, Ali, I have a grandfather here that was patient, kind, loving, you'd say,
Yeah.
John,
Who's that?
I'm sorry. That's exactly. And then, but I know that they change. I know we leave that personality, but they will give it to me so you know that it's really them. Yeah, so we do lighten up. So anyone that you know here that was hurtful to you or wasn't so nice to you, they have regret. They usually ask for forgiveness, and they do have to go through the pain, look at the pain that they cause people here, as well as the joy.
And what are they doing? What are loved ones doing on the other
Right.
side?
Absolutely. It's funny you say that because I'm writing all this in my new book. So this is, I believe in synchronicity, as you know from Power of the Soul.
I know.
All the questions you ask are in my new book. I believe
great.
we can do what I believe we can do whatever we want on the other side. We're not sitting there in puff of smoke or on a cloud. You know what I mean? I can only go by what they showed me and what they're doing. I had a grandmother come through once, and she said to me, "Tell my granddaughter that I'm just sitting on the porch looking out at the grass on my rocking chair."
Oh.
I had another guy come through saying that just tell them that I'm out fishing. But then I had somebody say, "Wait a minute. They're fishing on the other side. That means they're killing animals." I said, "No, no, no. It's just a memory that they're showing me." They've had people. I have children come through. For a quick story, okay?
Yeah.
Quick story.
Perfect. Yeah.
There was one little boy who came through, and he had spina bifida. It's a disease of the spine where it puts children in wheelchairs for most of their lives. So when he came through, he said, "Tell my mother that I am up and running the baseball field and I'm running the bases with the other boys." And I said, "Do you understand that?" And she started to cry. And I said, "What does that mean?" She said, "John, my son had spina bifida." Well, he did say too, "Tell her I'm no longer in the chair." And I asked the mother, why would he say, what does he mean? He had spina bifida. He was always in a wheelchair. And sadly, he would look out his window and the baseball field was right across the street. And he would always watch the boys play baseball, always wishing in his heart that he could play baseball. So that little boy is playing baseball on the other side. I've had other people say that they're in school. I've had other people say somebody passes from a drug overdose. They are now helping people who have had the same situation that crossed over. So I believe that's the real world, Ali. This is temporary. We are a soul that comes with the body, not a body that comes with the soul. Let me say that again. We are a soul first.
Yeah.
That comes with the body, not a body that comes with the soul. So when we leave this body, the soul will go back to home, to that spirit world, heaven, and then we'll enjoy our home. And then we'll come back here again, all right? But I believe that that's our real home. This is temporary. So everything is more vibrant there. I don't think I can describe what it's like there unless I go there. And I've had many people who are colleagues of mine that have died and come back and told me what happened over there. I don't need that to happen to me. Okay? I'll go by what they're telling me. So
Exactly.
I think the real. I think we can do whatever we want there, Ali. There's trees, there's hospitals, there's meadows, there's valleys, there's family. That's the real home. Yes.
Wow. And John, but then do loved ones while they're in spirit, do they come and visit us?
Absolutely, absolutely. When you lose someone, because I believe that when we lose someone for the first 3 days, I believe. From what I hear too, that they're close to us, but because we're so distraught, we're so emotional because we lost a loved one, we can't feel them around us. But yes, they do come over and over again because they've proven to me that they come to us. I don't believe that some people say, Ali, by us wanting them to come to us, are we holding them back? Absolutely not. We don't have that power to hold back our loved ones. I believe that they keep coming. I think they have their own life, Ali. You know what I mean? They can come back and forth when they want. But if your loved ones were here when they were alive, they'd be with you during the hard times, the sad times, and the happy times. Same thing. Many times they will come through and say, "Tell them I was at the wedding. Tell them why did they put me in that dress at my funeral? I had my cousin Margaret show up. So I know that they do visit us. And why? Because they can. A lot of people, Ali, say, why are they coming? Because they love us. And sometimes we feel them and sometimes we don't. And they do show many signs, which I'll know you'll ask.
Yeah. Actually, that's my next question. Is there a special language that they use to communicate with us?
Right. It's the language of spirit, okay? When people pass over, there's no longer any vocal cords. We don't have them anymore. So they have to send their words, images, and feelings to the medium. But I want people to realize, too, though, there's many ways that they let us know. The number one way that they come through are dreams. Your loved one will come to you in your dream. Not every dream you have of your loved one that's passed, if they're crying in the dream or you're crying and they're upset, that's not one of those dreams. These are called after-death communication, ADCs. My mom came to me after a year. I lost my mom 5 years ago. And usually when they come to you, they're healthy, younger, happy, and it's a short dream. Usually when I saw my mom, I'm like, Mom? And she's like, Johnny? And I hugged her and I started crying when I woke up. You know in your heart and soul. So dreams are the number one way that they come through. So ask your loved one, Mom, Dad, child, come to me in my dreams. Keep asking. But they do take their cues from us, Allie. They won't come to us if they know a visit from them is going to upset us or make us more emotional. They take their cues from us. You understand that, right?
I understand.
They have to know that. So when you're ready, say, please come to me, okay? Sometimes they'll come in dreams. A mother could send her the smell of lilacs or roses. But they can blink lights, electricity. Okay, electricity is good. Some people have gotten phone calls from their loved ones.
How can they get phone calls?
Because their energy, if you think about it in a scientific way, their energy, okay, they're just changed form. We don't really die. Our energy just changed form. Their energy and all our electronic stuff are energy here. Okay, so, and now, aren't we becoming more technology-based? There's so many things. A lot of people have their parents or say somebody passes away and their phone number is in their phone. The phone will ring and then their name will come up on the phone.
Wow.
Okay, their name will come up on the phone, and then when they answer it, it's usually static. Okay, so some people have gotten phone calls. Another way,
amazing.
Nature's big too. Butterflies are big. Ladybugs are big. Hummingbirds are big. They like to take things. If you think you're missing your keys, and then you go back to the same place, there they are. But if you have a joker in the family, you ever lose your keys, Allie, your glasses, and then you're looking, you keep looking, you go back, there they are. But you know what happens to us? We get these signs, the smells, the electricity, the dreams. There's so many more, and that's in my book, The Spirit Was. We talk ourselves out of it. We try to explain it away. We say, oh, if our house smelled of roses, we'd say, oh, it must be the air freshener from the neighbor. Or if light's blinking, we'll say, oh, it's just electricity. I mean, it could be, but don't explain it away.
Yeah.
If you keep getting the sign and if you're not sure, say, Mom, Dad, if that's you, do it again. Ask for the signs. There are so many of them. Don't explain it away. We explain away like we don't even notice it. Yeah.
Right. So usually you get a sign, and I'm thinking that you also get a hunch along with that sign, like a feeling.
Right. And the more you see them, the more they'll start happening. You could be thinking of your mom or your dad if they're passed away, and then you turn on the radio. There's their favorite song. Okay. You could I'll say this for the Spanish word. Say your grandfather's name is Jose. Okay. And you're thinking of your grandfather, and just as you're thinking of him, you're driving down the street. You see a truck that says Jose's Plumbing, and you'd be like, "Oh my God, that's so weird." It's not weird. It's the way it happens, and they'll play favorite songs just when you're thinking of them on the radio. You might be thinking of your mom. You're in a supermarket. Somebody says your mom's name, who's right behind you, exactly when you're thinking of them. But once again, we explain it away and say, "How weird is that? How crazy it is?" No, it's not.
It's a sign.
Absolutely, it's a sign.
And how can we as humans, I mean, they reach out to us in that way, and then how can we reach out to them as humans?
Okay. As humans, remember, we're spirit in a physical body. They're spirit out of the body. So you have spirit incarnate, spirit discarnate. Your loved ones are just a thought away. You just think of them, okay? You just keep thinking of them because it's the power of love, of how they get your thoughts, okay? They really, really do. So keep thinking of them. It's good to meditate. And I know many of you have heard meditate, 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 okay?
Yeah.
And we do it for a little while and then we stop, all right? But if they're trying to get your attention, Allie, with you, how can we even know or hear anything when so much is going on in our outside world? Between the noise, television, electronics, phones. So put all that away sometimes and just get quiet. You may feel and think of your loved one. Light a small candle safely, okay? Small
Safely.
candle, okay? Safely, okay? You don't need a bonfire. And just stare at it and you just breathe in, breathe out. You may feel your loved ones. And when you go into a meditation, you're a little more calmer, and I think your vibrations go a little higher. When I do mediumship, Allie, this is how it happens. I raise my energy, my consciousness, just by meditating, and they lower theirs. And then there's a blending process. That's when I start to hear, feel, and see the information. Because when you learn to open up your abilities, it's easier for them to come to you because you're meeting them halfway.
Exactly, right.
Yes.
Right.
You're so knowledgeable. You know all this.
I know, but people
Yes,
watching
absolutely.
Are, some may know and some may be new
Yep.
to this. So every detail you can give us is very useful, John. Going in that same train of thought, how about when we find ourselves here in this planet as humans, asking for help? Can can our loved ones help us?
Yes, they can. I really believe that they can help us. They can put you in a certain place at a certain time. They could put you in a synchronistic event make a synchronistic event happen, put you at the right place at the right time. They can encourage us. Sometimes, Allie, when someone may be so depressed, okay, they just can't get out of bed sometimes, but then they find the strength to get out of bed. Yeah, I believe that's your loved one kicking your butt. Okay, giving you that push. Like, I don't know how I went through the day. They can help us, but a lot of people, because I do my radio show, a lot of people will say to me, John, can my loved one help me with my finances, with money? And I said, okay. And she might have lost her dad. She asked her dad, can he help me get money? And I said, all right. I said, how was he here with money in the physical world? She says, he was awful. I said, well, just because he passed away doesn't make him an accountant, make him a bookkeeper, okay? But I really believe that they can't take away the karmic lessons that we're supposed to learn here. We make our choices here, and we have free will.
Yeah.
That's God gave us free will. I don't think they can interfere with it here. We have to make the choices because you're all about lessons here. So they can help us, guide us, love us, point us maybe in the right directions, but they can't take away the karmic lessons that we're supposed to learn here. But yes, they can help us.
So we always have the final word on what we do.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
So, and then how does having a better communication with the spirit world can improve the way we experience our world here?
Okay. I believe a lot of the times when I do mediumship, Allie, one of the biggest messages that I get all the time is, and from doing this work for over 20 years, is love your life now. Do it. Try to find your passion now. Say what you have to say to the people that are in your life now, because there are many families that don't talk to the sister. They don't talk to the brother. They haven't talked to their mother in 5 years. I wish I had my mother to talk to. There are some people whose mother's right here in the same town, the same city, the same state, the same village. But because of a stupid argument, they're not talking. So I believe that live your day to the fullest here. I think that's what's important that I learned from them, from the other side. So I don't want you to have to pass away to experience everything. I think God gave us a gift here. Some people don't look at us being here as a gift, but it is. This is where we learn most lessons, okay? But I really believe your communication with the other side helps you to know that there's more than this physical world. But we forget it because we get so caught. We're spiritual beings and physical beings, but we forget sometimes. We forget that we're spiritual beings. Sometimes we're too spiritual. Be physical also. Sometimes we're so caught up in the physical, money, family, life, we forget that we have the spiritual side too. So try to balance the two of the spiritual side and your physical life.
Yeah, that's key. And how
Yes.
about, John, when if we have established communication with a loved one that has passed away, and
Yes.
then that loved one gets to reincarnate, or it's in another life, can we still communicate with them, or
Good,
how does that work?
good. A lot of people say that to me. One woman came to me and she said, another medium told me, John, she couldn't get my mother because she reincarnated. Now, because I'm an author and a Hay House author, I'm very blessed. I get to meet a lot of other authors. So I know personally, he's a friend of mine, Dr. Brian Weiss. Many lives, many masters. Such a good man. Such
Amazing.
a good man.
Yeah.
Such a good man. By watching him and talking to him too, and plus my own belief, and I heard another medium say this, Gordon Smith. He's a British medium, a Scottish medium, and he trained me. Good teacher for me and a friend. Look at it this way. I believe that there's a bigger part of us, the oversoul. I believe that your soul right here is not just all of you. There's another bigger piece of you, yes? And if you look at it, some of your audience will understand this, okay? Look at it like a computer, okay? Look at the oversoul as the computer, the bigger part of you. Now, the Ali program, okay, is playing right now, okay? After you live this life, your personality, everything that you've learned, it goes back into the computer, and then another piece of your oversoul will be playing.
Projected,
okay?
Yeah.
Yes, but all the memories, that piece of Ali, I can still talk to that Ali because it's still there. It's the bigger, it's part of the bigger part of you. That I think makes sense because if you think about it, Ali, we're not just here. We're multi-dimensional beings. Okay? Have you ever had deja vu?
Yeah, of course, many times.
Many people. That's because your soul now is experiencing something, because when you get deja vu, it's experiencing something that already happened in the future. Okay? So I believe that our souls, it's multidimensional. We're living in the past, the present, and the future. Now we're talking quantum physics, okay, and superstring theory. That's a talk for Greg Braden.
Right.
Okay? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you can talk to the people that the others, they are there. They're part of the bigger soul. The person that you knew as your mom or your granddad or your child is there.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
Yes.
perfect. And
Absolutely.
how about, John? I know a lot of people here in Mexico and also in other Latin American countries
Sure.
really believe that they are bad spirits, and wonder how they can protect themselves from these bad spirits.
Okay. All right. So, see, I have a difference of opinion on that, okay? A lot of people will say to me, aren't you afraid, John, of entities attaching themselves to you? And I said, okay. And someone in the audience may ask me this, Ali, and I'll say this. I'll ask you, Ali, are you a good person?
Yes. I think
Okay.
so.
Like attracts like, okay? What you put out, you attract. I have never, ever, for me, and I say this in my book, I've never had the experience of bad spirits or bad entities. Now, remember those levels that I was talking about earlier? Okay, so you may get a lowly spirit who's on this level here, but I don't think God would let that happen. But I know a lot of people believe that, and I believe that our belief sometimes can manifest things also. I don't believe in bad spirits. Some people, though, Ali, with the greatest respect, because someone may challenge me on this, will say, no, I have experienced it, I know it's for a fact. In my opinion, in my experience, I have never experienced bad spirits or a haunting that scared me. Usually it was something that was going on with the people mentally or something. Okay, but once again, I haven't experienced it in my experience. So someone may challenge me on that, but I've never witnessed it. And I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly. But then
Right.
if you have that fear, John, would it be fair to say that it all comes back to what you are and how you're vibrating? So if you're afraid that you are attracting some lower energies, then you can work on your own vibe, raising your own frequency,
Right.
and that
Yeah.
will protect
Yes.
you from.
Exactly. Light is so much stronger than darkness. You know what I mean? It really is. But once again, you may have someone say, wait a minute, my daughter went to church every day. She's very Catholic. And you know what, too? I think there's too many movies.
Yeah. True.
There's too many
That's
movies
true.
out there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but
totally.
my experience, remember, I'm not saying there aren't any. I'm saying I've never experienced it in the 20 years that I've been doing this work.
Right. Thank you, John.
You're
And
welcome.
finally, I like I had in my life, uh,
Sure,
I had an intention of developing my intuition, like a
sure.
conscious choice to do it, and it has made
Yes,
in my life a whole difference.
sure,
On how I experience, how
sure.
happy I am, and all of that. So, and a lot of that I did following your teachings.
Thank
So
you.
this is why I am excited to ask you this question. How
Hmm.
can people tune in more to their own intuition, to their own psychic abilities?
Okay. First of all, know that everybody is psychic. Okay. We're all born this way. All right. Everyone, for all the mothers and fathers and grandchildren, I mean, grandparents out there who've had kids, watch a little kid. Okay. I believe when they're 1, 2 years old, I don't think they're really here yet. I think they have one foot on the other side and one foot here. They're all over the place. Kids come out, Allie, they start drawing. Aren't kids all, they're usually all artistic. They have imaginary friends. Then what happens is, we start school. We're born right-sided, the creative side. Then when we start school, the left side comes in, the brain. We have to learn math, numbers, spelling. We push away from that side. So first of all, know that you are psychic. You have a soul. With the soul comes soul senses. It's a lot of people look up to other psychics. You have the same ability, but maybe a psychic has developed it. Okay? Know, and this is in Psychic Navigator, are you a feeler, which is clairsentient? You feel things. You can walk into a room and say, I don't like the feel of the couch there. I don't like the feel of that picture. I really like the feel of this. Notice what you're saying, okay? You're probably clairsentient. That's right in the stomach area. Learn what clairsentience is, okay? Develop that. Clairaudience, to hear. Some people hear music playing in their head, okay? And they just explain it away. Sometimes they hear a loud ringing. Sometimes they hear their name being called. Nobody is there. Okay. Some people they think in words a lot instead of pictures. Clairaudience. Okay. Develop that, and then clairvoyance is to see, which is the third eye. Some people who are clairvoyant will walk into a room, Allie, and say, "I don't like the look of that there," or "I like what I'm seeing," or "I like that," or "I like what I'm visualizing." They're clairvoyant. Know which one you have first, and then develop it. Know that you are. And once again, meditation. How can you even tune into your inner senses when your outside world is so crazy?
Right, right.
Yeah,
Thank you so much,
yeah.
John. That's a lot of material and a lot of information, so people can learn more in your website, in your books. But I thank you very much for giving us this, this very interesting and good explanation of what it all is about the spiritual world
Please,
and
I
how
could
can we
go on.
communicate. I know, me
I can.
too.
Can I give one more tip? One more
Oh,
quick tip?
please do.
Okay. I'll ask you, Allie. Okay. You have a phone, yes?
Yes,
When you go to bed, where is the phone?
next to
Where,
me.
yes. Yes. Listen to me, okay? Most of us, we start our day, okay? You wake up, you have the alarm going off, okay? Most people reach for that phone right away. They're not even out of bed yet, and they're like emails, Facebook,
Right.
and they're sitting there, okay? Try to put the phone, if you need it there for the alarm, I understand that. But before you reach for the phone, okay, here's one tip for you. Before you reach for the phone, just wake up, put your hands on your chest, because every night our soul leaves our body, but we're still connected, our spirit, okay? Get settled first. Let your spirit get back into your body, and you close your eyes and say, I am a soul. I am a soul. You take a few breaths and put an intention out there how you want to start your day. I'm going to have a peaceful day. I'm going to have, don't go for Facebook right away or the emails. So this is what I say. Instead of reaching for your outer technology,
Right.
reach for your inner technology.
Yeah, that's a
Instead of
great.
reaching for your outer because we are a beautiful piece of equipment. Get settled. I am a soul. And try it. It's going to be hard for you not to reach for that phone the first thing in the morning, okay? Especially when someone's texting you. Just
Hmm.
close your eyes, set the intention of how you want to set your day before your foot hits the floor. Agree?
Yeah, that's a great habit for setting the tone of our day. And I'm sure we
Exactly.
will have, I'm going to do it. And I'm sure we're going to have, a different experience of our day just by doing that.
Absolutely. And you can have me back anytime. You're beautiful. I love
Oh,
you.
thank you,
And
John.
I think we could keep going on and on and on. Okay.
I know. Time flew by, but I'm really
Thank you.
grateful to have you
Thank
here
you.
and for
Thank you.
sharing your teachings with everyone that
Thank,
I'm sure this will make a difference in their lives. I'm
thank
sure
you,
of it.
Ali.
So thank you,
All right.
John.
Thank you, darling. Thank you.